Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you doing, Ten Swallow family? I pray that you have had an amazing day. It is a few minutes behind schedule. We are supposed to be 7:15, but it is 7:19. I was just making sure that I had all of the material that I needed before we start having this very serious discussion about are you addicted to sugar? If you are new to watching our page or if you are new to our page, welcome to our page. I am Chef Shakim Simmons, Chef Shah to my clients. I'm the owner of Ten Swallow Catering. And we are here to talk about what I consider to be something very serious. And that is, are you addicted to sugar? This conversation will probably um, not probably. It will most likely bring some awareness to how you view sugars and the damaging causes of sugars and what they can actually do to your body, how they can actually be affecting you in your overall mental health, in your overall physical health, and how you respond to things in the natural. Hello, Miss Pearl, how are you doing? So I want you to take this teaching on sugar, really assess it for yourself, and be honest with yourself whether or not you are actually addicted to sugar. I am not going to really sugarcoat anything with you all tonight because sometimes people will say, I have a sweet tooth. No, you are addicted to sugar. And we're going to talk about the different cover ups that are used to justify your cravings for sugar. And also bring awareness to some things that you may not be aware that you are addicted to sugar. You may just think that I like the taste of this or I like the taste of that, but then you may not have mentally assessed that I'm addicted to sugar because you don't know what a day or a couple of days feel like without any sugar. I'm not talking about sugars that you get from your natural fruits, like natural sugar. I'm talking about your actual sugar content. Some people really don't know what a day feels like not to have sugar in their bodies. But the minute they start to go through withdrawals, then they start to feel the symptoms of what detoxing from sugar feels like. So we did a survey where I asked 62 of my friends to give me their honest, transparent truth about sugars. Okay. I'm going to read out of my journal their notes, things of that they shared as it relates to sugar and their response to sugar. Okay. And this to me is very serious. I'm not calling their names. I'm just sharing statistics. Okay. But before I even go into that with them, let's talk about how do you know signs that you are addicted to sugar. One of the signs that you are addicted to sugar is you try to hide your sugar habits. What do I mean when I say you try to hide your sugar habits? Right? Some people with sugar addictions may recognize they're eating too much sugar, but instead of finding ways to cut back, they hide it. Making excuses or making deals with your own self concerning sweets and desserts. That's a sign that you are addicted to sugar. No one hides their vegetables or their good broccoli or any of those good things in a closet or put it away. If you hide sweets and snacks to try to convince yourself not to eat them, then guess what? Good evening. Then guess what? You're addicted to sugar. Negotiating with yourself on sugar eating, that means that's one sign you're addicted to sugar. You need more and more to satisfy your craving. That's a sign that you are addicted to sugar. What do I mean? As with any addictive behavior or substances, your tolerance to sweets may build up over time. As a sign of a sugar addiction, it's the need to more satisfy the craving. You wake up, you need your scoop of your sugar, your morning content of sugar, and then you begin to feel at ease. You begin to feel balanced. You begin to level out a little bit because now your body has gotten what it wants from you. Okay? You eat sugar even when you're not hungry. You can have a big meal, you're full, you just had the best. Just imagine the best steak dinner you want, or the best grilled salmon meal, or the best whatever, your best lobster meal, whatever. But you still can make room for a slice of cake. That's the number one sign that you are addicted to sugars. You have an addiction, and now it's turning into a sugar addiction that is associated with physical hunger. You have an addiction, a sugar addiction, that has now graduated to physical hunger. You always crave sweets. Ooh, I want this piece of candy. Oh, I want this soda. Oh, I just want this piece of peppermint. Or I just want this gum. Or I just want these couple of spoons of sugar in my coffee. Or whatever the case may be. You always craving something sweet. I notice people to say, "Oh, after I eat, I always want something sweet." You have a sugar addiction. That's what you have. Did you know that people who have sugar addictions always crave salty foods? So now you begin to see where the two diseases, hypertension and diabetes, begin to play together. You crave sugar, and consistently craving sugar can eventually lead to diabetics. But then now, because of your high craving for sugars, your body begins to want to substitute it for something salty. Now we're treading into things that can lead to hypertension. So now, not only are you craving sugars and sweets, now your body begins to crave something salty because now your palate is overwhelmed and it wants to balance itself out. Salty, sweet. Okay? You try to quit and have unusual symptoms. You like, you know what? I have a no sweet. So people start doing these New Year's resolutions, okay? And they begin to say, I'm going 10 days or 30 days with no sweets, no this, no that, right? You try to quit, but then you start having all the symptoms of someone who's addicted to sugar. Sugar addictions can be a behavioral addiction as well. It's not just physical. It can be a behavioral addiction as well. You get used to eating certain sugars after meals or at certain times of the day, and it can also be a chemical addiction. When you quit or you interrupt your normal schedule of eating sweets, your body begins to experience signs of distress, signs of withdrawals, all of this. So when we start talking about detoxing from sugars, and I'm getting ready to take 40 people tomorrow starting into a sugar detox. This is, you got some people, you can just say, you know what, I'm not going to do it, right? I don't want no sugars, I can handle it. But sometimes some people quitting sugar so abruptly can cause their body to have major withdrawal symptoms. So you have to begin to gradually bring people off of their sugar high, because that's really what it is, right? And I've shared this testimony with people before, and I'll share it with you again, because anytime I want to talk about sugars and the severities of sugars, I always refer back to this. I started doing a study about 2 years ago about the addictions of sugar and understanding what sugar does to the body, right? Had no idea that sugar was such a strong addiction. So I began to talk to some professors at this university in Georgia, and they began to talk to me from a food and nutritional perspective of what sugar does to the body on a physical level and on a chemical level. And I was literally blown away by that. And so they allowed me to talk to this person who oversees the intake department. Listen to this. The intake department at a drug rehab center. One of the things that people associate sugar addictions to is people who have cocaine addictions. Now people would say, "Chef, that's a little harsh." Oh, I'm not addicted to cocaine. Cocaine is a street drug. Sugar is a street drug. Sugar is a drug. People literally fiend sugar. And I was like, this is like, these are two different comparisons. Like, ain't nobody out here robbing nobody over sugar. And this is me talking to them. I'm like, you're going to have to give this to me. They walked me into one of the intake rooms where they intake people when they come in with withdrawals. They're coming into these rehab centers, and their goal is to leave clean and rehabilitated. So they have different rooms for different addictions and different withdrawal methods, right? So she walks me into this room and she said, "This is where we do intake." Because the average person who's coming in here to attempt to get clean, their mind says, "Let me just get high one more time. And then I'm going to go check myself in and get myself together." But in this particular room, this is what just like really shook me right here. In this particular room, she said, "This is a room that we bring people in who are coming in and they're coming down off of their high from being on cocaine." I was like, okay, let's go. She opened up the door. Every kind of candy you can think of is in the room. Candy bars, Twix, Milky Ways, pies, Snickers, uh, cakes, sodas, all of these things in here. I said, why is this room in here full of sugar? She said, because when they're coming down off of their high, the sugar gives them the same rush that they get instantly from a fix of cocaine. Let me tell you something. I was done. I said, this cannot be. She said, no, they can come in here and gorge off of sweets and it eases them out, it levels them out. I was like, I don't believe this. She was like, yeah. She was like, they coming down, they anxious, they going through withdrawals. We give them sugar. We begin to wean their bodies on low contents. Now, the sugar is kind of leveling you out. It's kind of smoothing you out. It's taking the edge off, right? And so the comparison of the two is the same. Let me give you a good example. Let me use myself, okay? Because I can talk about me. And anybody who has followed me for an extended period of time know that I used to have a fix with Reese's Pieces cups, right? The peanut butter Reese's Pieces cup. That was my go-to. That's my business, okay? But I've been set free. I can be having the worst day, or I consider the worst day a stressful day, not the worst day, but a stressful day. And then I would just go to a store and get me a Reese's Pieces cup. And then as soon as I put it in my mouth, I can feel myself just feeling indulged into this chocolate. I'm like, it tastes so good. I feel better. So maybe it was just me, right? The sugar had a way of stimulating my psyche to make me think that the sugar was making me feel better. And actually, the sugar was satisfying a craving, it was satisfying an addiction. And my body knew that. Them Three Musketeers is the devil. You hear me? The Snickers is too, because it was a wrestling in my spirit about this Reese's Pieces cup. And some years ago, it used to be Mr. Goodbar because of the peanuts, but y'all don't like Mr. Goodbars probably. But you know, the one with the yellow wrapper with the nuts in it, it used to have a hold of me. Okay, and I was like, this is a mess. This is a mess. Like, how is it that you get a piece of chocolate and now your edge have came off? And so when I went through this training on teaching about the addictions of sugar, it was very hard to associate just something we consider as simple as sugar as being something that's addictive and can be causing chemical imbalances in your body. What if that sugar that you're craving is the reason that you don't have mental clarity? What if the sugar that you're craving or you're eating every day is what causes you to have anxiety? What if the sugar that you're craving could be causing your menstrual cycle to be irregular? What if the sugar that you're craving, married people, is affecting your sex drive? Or what if the sugar that you're craving is why you, quote, are having hormone imbalance issues, ladies? So what if the sugar you're craving is causing infertility issues? It's been studied, so it's been true, right? So what if all of this sugar is causing things in your body that have been irregular to remain that way? It's serious, right? Are you using sugars to soothe you? That's what we just talked about, right? Are you using sugars to say, you know what? Just give me something sweet because I'm stressed today. Has sugar become your comforter? Mm-mm. Are you craving something sweet after you had a bad breakup? You done watched a sad movie, you done had a bad day. You done went to the gym and you done gave them 30 minutes, so now you feel like you owe yourself a milkshake. Oh, okay. Maybe that's not y'all, right? A psychological symptom of sugar addiction is when individuals continuously turn to sugars as means to cope with stressors, boredoms, or other psychological issues such as depression and anxiety. Let me read that again. Are you using sugars to soothe you? I'm reading from some notes I made. So I've been at this all day. So y'all about to get it, okay? Are you using sugars to soothe you? Have you ever gone to sugar after a breakup, a sad moment, a happy moment? You don't went through a bad day. You don't went to work out, so you feel like I've been good, so I owe myself a milkshake. Mm. Psychological symptoms of a sugar addiction is when individuals continuously, always, turn to sugars as a way to cope with life stressors, boredoms, or any other psychological issues such as depression or anxiety. You know this is an addiction. This is an addiction. An addict knows this next statement. So we're talking about sugar addictions. So if you are offended that you are being told that you are addicted to sugar, I'm sorry. You can log off because I'm going to tell the truth tonight, okay? You know the potential consequences of the sugar and you eat it anyway. You know the potential consequences of the sugars and you eat them anyway. You know the negative consequences, but you eat it anyway. See, when people think of sugar addictions, only thing people really visually come to mind and say, I don't eat candy all day. I don't eat chocolate. I don't eat cookies. I don't eat pies. I don't eat cakes. So I don't really like sugar, right? But if you getting up and you put in 4 or 5 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee, then your body's craving that every day. Okay. How many spoons of sugar are you putting in that coffee? And then the cream has sugar in it, and then you add sugar. Okay. But you're drinking Coke, you're drinking Pepsi, you're drinking ginger ale, you're drinking Sprite, You getting your sugar fix because there's a lot of sugar content in those drinks. Oh, maybe you don't do soda. Maybe you just go grab you a bottle of this high fructose apple juice or cranberry juice that has added sugar in it. So maybe you ain't getting it through soda, maybe you're getting it through juice. Or maybe you like, oh, I'm just gonna pop this peppermint in my mouth. Or maybe I'm gonna chew this gum. Or maybe I'm gonna do this. Or maybe I'm gonna do that. And so now, just because you don't eat a Snicker bar or a Twix or a Three Musketeer, uh, but you getting it in another way. So when you looking at sugars, I'm talking about any sugars that are not coming naturally through fruit. Any sugars that you have, I'm talking about your peppermints, I'm talking about your Jolly Ranchers, I'm talking about any of that. Yes, I'm talking about your instant oatmeals. They got sugars in it. I'm talking about any of that stuff. Your syrup, your powdered sugars. I'm talking about anything that you can get your sugar fix off of. Is aiding to your addiction to sugar. So when we talk about sugar addiction, people instantly say, "Oh, I don't walk around. I don't eat cakes, pies, candies, things like that." But your sugar content is still heavy because you're getting it from other sources. Even ketchup has sugar in it. Okay, yeah. Okay. You probably have a sugar addiction is after you eat the sugar, you start feeling guilty. So this is the psychological part right here. Feeling of guilt about eating any sugars. Better yet, certain kind of foods become a shaming habit. If you feel shame about eating sugar, then you probably have slight sugar addictions. See, habits and addictions will cause you to do them and then bring embarrassment and shame once you've done it. Right. But that's not none of us, right? You've never had this big piece of nice chocolate cake or this big nice piece of pound cake, or you've never had this piece of cheesecake with loaded berries and strawberry compost and all these other things. And then after you ate it, you be like, I shouldn't have ate that. Guilt, right? Oh, I shouldn't have ate that. Ugh, come on. Come on. These are signs of sugar addictions, okay? Let's talk about some sugar withdrawal symptoms. Anytime you begin to take something away from your body, that instant oatmeal ain't healthy. Facebook user. It's not. It's not. Make you some oatmeal. Okay? Because all they have in here is crushed up sugar inside of this little packet. Ask me how I know because I used to eat it. Crushed up sugar, crushed up cinnamon. Let's go with the brown sugar oatmeal. All right, that used to be my it factor. I go to work, I'm like, oh, I'm eating good. I'm gonna have this little bowl of this oatmeal, but it's crumbled up sugar and brown sugar with cinnamon. And then you warm up that instant oatmeal and you mixing all that in here. Where do you think that sweetness come from? There's nothing natural about that. Anytime we start taking our bodies through withdrawals or taking something away from us, then it begins to question who we are, right? You will have detox symptoms. Sometimes it's a little anxiety. Sometimes it can change your sleep patterns. Sometimes you can have these mood swings, difficulty concentrating, fatigue, and more intense cravings. That's just like if you're going through some natural withdrawals from something else, right? Your body is wanting what it wants. And I told this to my private group that I'm coaching. The best way I can describe um, what your body will experience is, let's take a kid. It could be your niece, nephew, it can have been your child. And you take them into a store and they begin to have a tantrum, right? You pull up to the cash register and all of these candies and stuff around here. So just imagine a kid, all these things, right? Because they want what they want, right? They see this item, they see this candy, and they want what they want, right? Guess what? Now you have two different parenting styles. Both parents love their children, but parent A is strict by the book. Parent A is, listen, before we go in this store, we not about to have no sweets. Don't ask me for no sweets. Don't ask me for no candy because I'm not about to give you no candy. If you show out in this store, I'm going to show out in this store. Okay? Parent A. Parent B, you're not going to have any candy. Don't ask me, whatever. You're not getting any candy. Well, child gets in the store, start having a tantrum. Parent A is sticking by it. You're not getting any candy. Dry up your face, clear it up, and don't make me have to spank your behind in the store. Okay? Parent B, I don't want to see you crying. I don't want to see you acting up. I'm just going to give you this candy because I'm saving myself from the rebuttal. I don't want to know the consequences of you acting out in this store if I don't give you what you want. Both love their children, but one response to wanting something is different. That's just how it is when you have these detox symptoms. When you're going through that, your body is going to begin to act out. It's going to begin to wake you up. You're like, oh, I have a headache. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Oh, I'm sleepy. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my stomach hurts. I'm feeling fatigued. Oh, do I feel warm? Oh my gosh. Like, oh my God. All these things are symptoms of your body responding to you taking something from it that is used to having. Is used to having. Your body is used to having this sugar. Your body is used to you getting up in the morning for this cup of coffee. I'm gonna put these 3 teaspoons of sugar in here. I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna drink it. Then I'm gonna come in here and have this instant thing of oatmeal. Great. Then I'm gonna have me a nice waffle and I'm gonna put me some syrup on top of it. Wait a minute. We had sugar in our coffee. We didn't had this. Okay, we going down the line. Okay, let's make it more appear to be healthy. I done had my cup of coffee. I done put me 2 teaspoons of sugar in here. Great. I done made this beautiful waffle and I have a bowl of fruit and I'm putting syrup on my waffle. So I've gotten sugar from my coffee. I've gotten sugar that I put on top of this waffle with syrup, and I'm sitting here eating a bowl of natural sugars with fruit. Okay. I've gone on through the day. I'm going to order me some lunch. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A and get me a nice salad. I'm gonna put me on some salad dressing that has some sugar content. Oh, and give me a large lemonade. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I just had me a nice healthy salad, but you've had a cup of sugar with this lemonade. Okay. Now we done moved on to the evening time. You done got back to your desk at work. You chilling. Guess what? In this desk, you got candy bars, Snicker bars, Twix bars, potato chips, all kinds of stuff. You got little candy jars on your desk for decoration. You got all this stuff. So you got sugar all around you. You coming on home, you on your way home, you get home, and next thing you know, you having all this sugar. You doing too much. And then some people don't even consciously think that still throughout the day I'm consuming sugars and I'm aiding to my fix. My fix is sugar. Okay. We have sent this questionnaire out to different people who I know, and I asked them to just keep it 100 with me. Let's talk about your sugar addictions. How many items a day do you think you eat that consumes sugar? 1 to 5. No, excuse me. 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, or 7 to 10. We sent this out through SurveyMonkey. 60% says 7 to 10. 40% says 3 to 5. On an average, how many teaspoons of sugar do you put in your coffee? 0 to 1, coffee or tea. 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. 80% put 3 to 5 teaspoons of sugar in their tea or coffee. After a few days of you not having sugar, we asked them to go 2 days with no added sugar. Can you explain what your symptoms were? Participant A. All I could think about was sugar. Donuts, milkshake, creamers, cookies, instant oatmeal, ketchup. Sugar was everywhere. People bringing stuff to work. I'm sweating, thinking that I was like, what is going on? Maybe I have the flu. Then I realized that I hadn't had any sugar. Participant number 2. This is very difficult for me because the more I participate in these questions, the more I realize that sugar has always been part of my daily life. I don't know a life without sugar. And to be honest, I'm scared to know what it feels like. Participant number 3. Hi, my name is blank and I'm a sugar addict. I don't need to answer any more questions. I'm addicted to sugar. When I decided to take this poll, I didn't realize that it would cause me to go down an emotional drain. I'm sitting here to think of how many times I associated sugar with different things in my life. Once I've gone through this, I realize that every part of my life, or even emotional times I can recall, I have always turned to sugar. See, I don't need to read any more of those things, but just to show you that there's things in our lives that we go back and reassociate sugars with. It becomes what soothes us, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay. Part of our 40-day challenge is to bring an awareness to what sugar does to your body, emotionally, psychologically, and physically. And when you start removing natural sugars from your diet, then your body begins to respond different, right? Out of the 60 people, only 18 of them, hear me, went 10 days with no sugar. 18 out of 60 of these people made it to 10 days with no sugar. They were like, it's tough. It was hard. I was thinking if I'm not having candy, I'm not doing nothing. So I gave them a list of things they should avoid. And then the average person was like, this is where I get my sugar from: coffee creamers, added sugars, um, oatmeals, waffles, syrup, all these things. So we gave them a list of things that don't have any sugar in it. Only 18 out of 60 people could last 10 days with no sugar. The ones that did stick to it began to send these lists of things that they started noticing different about their bodies. They became regular. Their bowel movements became regular. They started resting more. They weren't having headaches. One of the young ladies said she was having migraine headaches so bad that she was getting ready to go the next week to get this piercing in her ear, that is told to have to help people who have migraine headaches. She has been having migraine headaches, severe migraine headaches, since she's been a kid, been on all type of steroids, all kind of things, but she's a grown woman now in her 30s, and she was like, I'm done with the migraine headaches. So she was actually going to go get the piercing to help relieve pressure. The intent of the piercing is to relieve migraine pressure. And I've never had one, but people say that it tends to help them relieve pressure instantly when they have these piercings, right? Yeah, we're going to talk about fasting because fasting has the ability to heal the body on a cellular level. So fasting is very powerful. We will definitely talk about fasting in the 40 days of detoxing from sugar, because fasting has the ability to reset the body. And oftentimes people don't really realize that, because fasting for them, they go in it with the wrong intentions. Fasting is not something that you can go and do on your own and say, I'm waking up and I'm fasting. You have to have been spiritually and mentally prepared to start fasting, because if not, you're fasting in your own strength and you're not trusting in the strength of God to help you through it. So the average person don't endure fasting because they're not prepared for it. And she was going to go get this piercing in her ear to help her endure her sugar cravings and to help her relieve the stress, not endure her sugar cravings. She will get the piercing to be able to help her with her migraines. Well, after the 10 days, she was like, I'm getting ready to go get my piercing. I was like, okay. She was like, you know what? I haven't had a headache in a few days now. And she says, I always have headaches. I said, explain to me when you say I always have headaches. She says, I always. She said, there's never a day that I do not have headaches. If I don't wake up with one, I go to bed with one. And she said they started thinking that it was my blood pressure. She said, but my blood pressure's been fine. So it's just been migraines that she have associated it with. And I said, well, if you can do a couple of more days without any sugars, try not to take any of your medication and let's see where you are. Here we are now. She's day 40-ish, 5-ish, somewhere in there. She haven't had any added sugars except for having fruit. That's natural sugar. And she have not had a headache in day 45-ish. Went back and talked to her neurologist because she was seeing a neurologist because of her headaches and realized that her headaches were triggered because of sugar. She doesn't have the piercing, not saying that she may not ever go get it. But what she has been able to associate with is that her sugar content was so high, it was causing one of the reasons why she was having headaches. And so then she goes to backtrack this thing to things that we talked about psychologically depending on sugar. So there's a lot of things that we can go back and associate having a sugar addiction with. But one of the things I want you to be mindful of is that sugar addictions causes imbalances in more than one area in our lives. And our goal in this 40 days of having um, this sugar detox is to really talk to um, our clients, our the people we're coaching through this about what is the sugars really doing for your body? What is it really doing for your body? Are you really to a point that you don't know what it feels like to be without sugar? Do you know that? Do you know what it is to be without sugar? Do you know what it means to go 5 days without any added sugar? Are you ready to challenge yourself to say, if me not having sugar can bring healing to my body in other areas, mentally and physically, would I be willing to give up sugars for that? I personally would. If sugar is continuously causing me to have diabetes and high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all these things that are trickling down because now my sugar is causing my A1C levels to get out of control. My cravings for sugar is causing this, or my cravings for sugar is causing this. And if I would completely withdraw my bodies from sugar, if that was what it took for me to really walk into a place of healing in my body, mentally and physically, would I not be willing to do it? I would. So this 40 day is not for people who really want to play. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know any other way to put it. It's not for someone who hasn't acknowledged the fact that they have an issue with sugar. So maybe you don't want to be bold enough to say that I'm addicted to sugar. Maybe you just realize that I consume too much sugar. This 40 days is for the people who was like, I don't want to be dependent on sugar. I realize it's a problem. And then the more we talk about it, you found yourself in any of these conversations I'm having tonight, is not good. It is not good. And you don't want to have to go down that road. You do not want to have to find yourself having a doctor to tell you that your glucose level is out of order, or the fact that they seeing some other issues with you because you have refused to withdraw your body from sugars. It can be challenging. Absolutely. But can it be done? Yes, it can. Okay. So over this next 40 days, we are getting ready to take some people who are willing to go this journey into a 40-day sugar detox. And we're going to walk you through it. Now, I'm not physically there with you to hold your hand, but I will coach you through the 40 days. And so this is myself included. This is not my first time ever going through a sugar detox. I'm a whole lot better when it comes to sugar. I don't even put sugar in my coffee anymore. I just put a little cream in there. So that's even a graduation for me. So for those people who really say, you know what, this is something I have always had an issue with. And very well, the sugar addiction or the cravings for sugar could very well be why you can't lose weight. The sugar addiction can very well be the reason for your insomnia. The sugar addiction can very well be the reason why you have all of these chemical imbalances and things going on. Maybe the sugar addiction can be bringing up other things, soothing other things, but causing other things to hide. And when you start going to take things away from your body that's not good, then you really sometimes start to see the root of what the issue really could be. So during this 40 days, we are welcoming some people who are seriously committed to 40 days of no sugar. Ooh, that's a lot. It's a whole month and 10 days, or it depends on what month it is, right? Of not having any sugars. So we are going to start tomorrow with teaching on the 40-day sugar detox. I will be sending lists out to those that are joining for this 40-day sugar detox. Those who are in my 60-day wellness, they will go through the 40 days as well as other training, right? But this 40-day detox is for those who, like, I realize there's a problem and I need to fix this problem. I want to do better. I don't want to be dependent on sugar. I don't want to control my moods by sugars. I don't want to use sugars. I don't want to have to be hiding snacks and cakes and cookies or whatever for myself. I don't want to have to be that person. I want to be a responsible person when it comes to my health. And that's the conversation we're trying to have with responsible people who are willing to take the next step to be responsible for their health. Okay. Don't put your health and wellness on the back burner. We are borrowers of this body, right? And if we do not um, take it seriously, then if this body starts to deteriorate and go down, there's no replacements. And I personally want to live out all of my days to the best of my ability and good health. Okay. I don't want to um, begin to have my body deteriorate prematurely because I've neglected to alleviate some things. It definitely can be done. It just takes you being determined. You can have all the faith that you want to have. The Bible says faith without work is dead. Put your faith to work. Put it to work. Put it to work. Okay? This is what we're doing. We're starting on tomorrow. This 40 days of coaching on this sugar detox. This is a 40-day detox program that we are going to teach and walk you through. It is an investment. This 40-day detox program, the investment is $99 and it is a virtual detox. We talk about everything you need to have, and it is for 40 days. We coach you, we give you all the tools, we give you everything you need, we give you the journals, we give you everything you need for 40 days to begin to help you through detox. And you will have these one-on-one conversations with me along with other people every day for 40 days until we get this thing done. Okay. I want to see you better and I want to be better. It's not even um, about whether or not some people need to do it. It's more about, are you willing to commit to doing it? Because sometimes we fear what we don't know. Some people may be saying, I may jump into this and I may be like, I can't go without sugars. You can, but because sometimes the cravings for sugars are so strong that it will challenge you. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna really challenge you. But for you to stick to it, you'll really begin to see the benefits of it. Okay. So tomorrow I'm excited to get ready to walk a group of people through a 40-day sugar detox. We already have some people who are in our private group and they are absolutely ready. We are going to get through this 40 days together. Okay. Y'all got your Valentine's Day candy and all this stuff out of the way. You done had all your cakes last night, your cookies and all this good stuff. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's wake up tomorrow. Like, Lord, listen, I got to do this. So we're gonna get this done. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna be persistent in getting things together. And that's it. That is it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. We are going to get this thing together. Okay. I'm going to drop something over here. Hold on. And this thing that we can do. Give me a second. I want to give you guys something that we can do together. This is a work together. Okay. This detox is serious. We are going through this sugar detox. For those people who are interested in going into this sugar detox, I dropped the link there. You can just click that link and then I will get information and I will add you. If you have any specific questions that you are unsure of, guess what? You can message me through either one of these pages that you're watching me because we're streaming on multiple platforms. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have about the detox. But I want you to do the work. I want you to be committed to do the work. I can take you through it, but you're gonna have to be committed to do the work. So I'm committed myself to do the work. I'm committed to not have my body want to crave sugars at that level. Am I saying that I'm gonna never have another piece of cake? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I will not allow sugars to be what rescue me when I'm having not such a good day. Or I won't use sugars as a dependency. Or I won't be hiding little Debbie snack cakes and all these things around my house. I don't buy them anyway. I'm just using an example. I won't be having a purse full of candies and different things that are in place to soothe me. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Responsible, moderation, that's what we're going for, okay? So listen, I will see those people who are absolutely ready. We will be on the other side of this in 40 days. And then I will have these people who have participated at their leisure to come and share their experience with this 40-day sugar detox because it's going to be real and I'm excited to take them on that journey. Um, if you have questions for me, be sure to inbox me and let me know. Other than that, listen, have an amazing, amazing night. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you with the love of the Lord. We are always praying for you and pray for us. Pray for these people who are about to embark on this 40-day detox. They are sitting in the chambers ready. I've been talking to them yesterday. Talking to them today because it's important that they mentally and spiritually prepare themselves for this sugar detox because it's going to be a lot. Also, get you a journal. Everyone who has started on this, we gave them journals because it's important for you to have some type of way to vent and have dialogue and to discuss your moods and how you're feeling and what you usually do when you feel this way. Like, what's your natural response when you're feeling this way? So it'll be a journal that will take you through what your journey looks like on the other side of this. And sometimes we don't ever associate our craving for sugars with what we're dealing with emotionally. And we don't want to do that. We want to disconnect our emotions from our cravings for sugars. Okay. We're going to work on that. Okay. We're going to get through it together. All right. Listen, y'all have an amazing night and I will see you all. I won't be talking to y'all. I'll be talking to my group tomorrow, but I won't be on these personal pages tomorrow because the married couples at my church are going bowling. So me and my husband's going to win. Yeah, we're gonna go out here and bowl tomorrow. Yeah, that's what's up. So we'll be out with the married couples at my church at Thy Kingdom Has Come International Ministry. So we going bowling. I have my own shoes and my own ball. So I'm going ready. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Listen, y'all have an amazing weekend. Do something good for yourself. Don't buy yourself no cakes and no cookies. Treat yourself good. Do something for yourself this weekend, or do something for yourself. Do something that just maybe go for a walk, or go get your nails done, or go get your facial. Go buy yourself a book that you always wanted. Go treat yourself real good this weekend to something, because a lot of the times, a lot of addictions that people deal with is because either you have gone through phases where you've been mistreated and it affected how you treat yourself. So when you value yourself, you treat yourself well. When you want to look good, you dress up, right? But it starts internally. So when you want to look good on the outside, it starts to come up from who you are on the inside. So go do something for yourself. All right? All right. Talk to y'all later. Have an amazing night. God bless you.